For as long as I can remember, competitive combat sports athletes have been running. They are putting in the road work to build their fight cardio. But as time progresses and science moves forward and more research is out, we ask ourselves the simple question, is that the best way to do so? Should you implement bouts of long distance running in your schedule as a fighter? What's going on, guys? Coach Andrew here, and we are going to dive into the pros and cons of long, slow distance running for building fight cardio. Now, if you come from boxing or Muay Thai, you are pretty much indoctrinated into the idea that you must run. And they're like, no run, no Muay Thai. So you pretty much gotta run all the time. And there are definitely benefits to it. Otherwise, what's the point, right? Nobody be doing it. But let's dive deep into it a little bit. Let's kind of analyze the why. We all know the most basic thing is you gotta run, you gotta put in the road work so we can build that aerobic base. And it's actually one of the things I love the most about running. We're helping our body to develop a strong heart and a strong set of lungs to effectively build up our aerobic conditioning systems, our aerobic energy systems. If you don't know, we have 3 energy systems in the body. One is adenosine triphosphate, which is your highly explosive bouts of movement lasting anywhere from 1 to 15 seconds. Then we have our glycolytic system, lactic acid system, that is like anywhere from 30 seconds to about 2 to 3 minutes. And then anything after that is aerobic. So running is a strictly aerobic conditioning exercise. And I like to think of it like this. I like to think that our aerobic capacity is like a pool of energy that we can tap into. So the more we run, the bigger the pool is, so that if we decide we need to tap into it, we have more in reserve to do so. It's not only going to allow you to have more energy for longer duration events, but I find in particular that building your aerobic capacity in this way is actually going to help your body being able to recover more effectively from bouts of high intensity efforts. I've just lumped 2 points into one, but whatever. That's how we do it, baby. Now in Muay Thai, another reason why they love long distance runs all the time is it is building strength in their legs and conditioning in their shins. They're building dense bones in their legs so they can kick harder and not break their legs. Because I'm not sure if you know, but in Muay Thai, they kick a lot. It is the highest scoring attack you can do. And I'm not talking low kicks, I'm talking like body to head kicks. Those are the highest scoring moves you can do. So they need those to be as effective as possible. And they are whipping those around for 3, 4, 5 rounds. And you're also going to be able to build a lot of lactic acid resistance in your legs and the muscles in your legs. You're going to get used to those bouts of heavy fatigue of when your legs just feel like lead and you don't want to run anymore. And it hurts so bad, but you gotta, because home is still 30 minutes away and you're like, fuck, why did I run this far? That hasn't been me at some point. But this isn't about me, don't worry about that. So we know the performance benefits of building the cardio and doing all that, but one of the other reasons why I actually really like running in fighter programs is it's really great for weight management. Sure, you can just control your diet, but running gives you a little bit extra leeway. You get a good sweat on. It burns like a lot of calories. Like for example, I go for a 5K run twice a week, and that 5K run, before I do anything else, is already like 400 calories. If I just eat the same, like I already do, that's 400 calories that I'm already in a deficit for. It's just a great tool to use to manage your weight. Once again, I don't think you should rely on it. An effective diet is the most important thing. But if you go for a run and then you want a little bit of ice cream in the afternoon, well, you can have a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. I know I'm sad too, because sometimes I get that tub of Ben & Jerry's and I just want to eat the whole thing in one sitting, especially when it's that chocolate and it's got that fudge in the middle of it, and I just want to eat the whole thing. What are we talking about here? And the last and final pro that I find for running is it is a great for developing mental fortitude, because let me tell you, I don't like running. I don't like it. I don't ever wake up in the morning and be like, oh boy, I get to go for a run tomorrow. No, it's good for you. It's good for here. It's good for here. So just shut up and run, okay? But it is doing the things that we don't want to do that develops character, that builds discipline, it builds mental fortitude, because when you are in the later rounds in a fight and your lungs are just gasping for air and everything feels heavy, you need that mental fortitude to push through. Being able to still perform when you are tired is a paramount skill in any kind of combat sports. I don't care who you are, what you're doing. Let's go to the cons. The stuff that I don't think running really provides effectively or efficiently for. Number one, running can be incredibly taxing on your central nervous system, on your body. If you're not used to running or you run too much, you will find yourself burning out. Just like any other part of training, we need to find a dose that is the most effective for you and your fitness level and your goals and for what we're trying to achieve. And I'll say it right now, it is more valuable for you to use that energy in a skill session, of a Muay Thai pad session, of a sparring day, or a wrestling roll, whatever. It is more important for you to get that than another 5K run, another 10K run. The run is a supplement to everything else. So in the grand scheme of things, for what you get out of it and for what it costs of your CNS, it may not be worth it. So just be smart. Now, doubling back to that, another con for long distance runs, even though I value them and I do like them, it is not the most effective way to build fight cardio. Now, fighting, I don't know if you've ever been to a fight, I don't know if you've ever competed before, but it is not a long, slow duration event. It is a high intensity event where we go in and out of the red zone for high intensity bursts of output. You're never really competing and you're just like, you know, because you can do this. You can do this pace all day. This is my 30%, la 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 la, I can run all day. But in an actual competition where shit's going down and someone's trying to knock your head off, you're moving, your heart is racing just from the pressure of being there. Your heart is racing, you're moving, you're whoop, whoop. Like just bouts of intensity. We don't have time to sit in this long duration, heart rate, yellow rate, green rate, whatever the fuck. We need to get our body used to those levels of intensities, those heart rates, that heart rate zone. We need to float in the red zone. We need to live in there. We need to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. Now, running for long distances, it's not easy, but it's different. It's just a different type of intensity. If you're trying to specifically develop fight cardio, you are better off doing some form of interval training, whether it be bouts of Tabata intervals. You could be doing longer duration, 60 seconds on, 60 seconds off. You want to work the energy systems relevant to the sport, not just the aerobic one. Like I said before, we need to work with the alactic and lactic acid systems. And running just doesn't do that. It just doesn't. Now, the only other con that I have, it's one that I see from people that are in more traditional training ecosystems. They do lots of running. Like in Muay Thai, they're running every day, before training, after training, they're doing ridiculous amounts of running. That is going to wear away at your knees and your hips. I've heard John Wayne Parr talk about running and how it actually like destroyed his knees and his hips, and how he actually had to have hip surgery because he was running so much, and just a shock wore away at his hips. And not just that, if you are fatigued from running or you're fatigued from your other training and you go for a run or whatever, you are more likely to hurt yourself just because you're not firing on all cylinders. There is just more inherent risk involved in long distance running if you overdo it. And let me tell you, it's very easy to do, especially if you're at the end of a weight cut and you're like, oh man, I've got to lose like another kilo in this next week. I've got to lose another 2 kilos in this week. And you're trying to use it, you're overdoing it for weight control, you're overdoing it for XYZ. And you see it all the time. They put on the sauna suit and they go for a run and you're dehydrated and you're exhausted and you're running and you're just like, this is just shit. There are just better ways to do all these things. If you structure and plan all your training and all your dieting and all that properly and your weight cut, you don't need to do these extreme stuff in order to get to your goals. What I'm trying to say in this whole video is there are smarter ways to do certain things. Do I think you should be running as a fighter? I personally think there is a lot of value in it if you do it at an effective dose. Personally, I run 2 to 3 times a week. Generally it's 2, but if I miss a session or I've only got half an hour to burn and I can't go to a gym and do Muay Thai or whatever, I'll go for a run. You know what I mean? Like, in situations like that, yeah, chuck a run in there. It's all about effective dose. It's all about knowing what you can do. If you had to choose, I would prioritize high intensity interval training over long distance cardio. But let me tell you, having a mix of two, it's always going to be good. We don't have to pick one or the other. We're not in a time where it's like, you want to run? That's the only way to do it. Honestly, if you went running twice a week and you did 2 days a week of interval training, I think you'd be sweet. And if you think about it, all your pad work, all your jiu-jitsu rolls and everything, those are types of interval training. So all I'm saying is be smart about it. Don't overdo it and hurt yourself. So I know the answer is kind of vague and it's more of a like, it depends. But let me know in the comments below, how much running are you doing for your training? How do you prefer to get your fight cardio? Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe for some more goodness. Make sure you check out one of my other videos. YouTube's gonna recommend it right over here, I think. That one, you should probably check out that one. It's pretty good. And to catch you for the next one.